Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. As another episode of A Tale of Dice is just now starting. Like, what are the odds that I am here pronouncing at the exact moment that our episode is starting? It's weird how things work out sometimes.
So weird.
We are having a real dude bro day today because unfortunately the feminine energy of our beloved Crystal must be missing right now because she snowed into her apartment. No, she actually had other plans this day, but it's way nicer and more fun to say that she is like blocked in by mountains and mountains of snow. And
Very epic.
Yeah, so that's what we're going with for tonight.
And don't worry, I will more than make up for that loss of femininity.
Oh, hell yeah, bitch.
Yeah, Queen.
In the meantime, because it is cold, we are wearing beanies.
Except we didn't tell Mux that we're wearing beanies.
Fuck!
Because...
Okay, now I'm getting a beanie.
No.
Can I get one?
I think you're able to get one. We are officially the Beanie Boys. That's
Just 1 second.
that is what the party is called right now. We are the Beanie Boys. Deal with it.
I love that.
Oh yeah. In the meantime, before we jump into the episode, and while Max is getting his very own beanie, we of course have a beautiful artifact in the possession of the party with a number of different effects that you can spend your llama points on, including the new beautiful Wild Magic Surge, which you can dump all of your points into to get a nice little effect going for our party members that, changes things up a bit. Last week we had one person who was able to buy it all on her own. So this time around we tried to put it a little bit higher. We're still going to take a look at like what the sweet spot is for our small audience, but we will work with that in the meantime. Also, Ganja Nation, thank you so much for subscribing once again to our beloved channel. Oh God, this is the dreaded 13th month. I hope you will survive this mischief-filled month. If anything bad happens to you in the stream or whatever, do remember that A Tale of Dice is not to be held accountable in any way or form. With that out of the way, I do believe that Max is now also returned here to this beloved stream with a very own beanie. So,
Yay!
without further ado, gentlemen, shall we play a game?
Da, ksh, da, 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 da.
We're live.
And we're live again. Sweet. So, last we left off, our heroes, known as the Pack, in their ongoing campaign against the vile forces of the Court of Shadows, delved into an underground cave system and rid the very land of their shadowy corruption by vanquishing a, recurring villain of the sorts in the very heart of this cavern system, the vampire Count Fairwind. In so doing, unraveling their very plans of domination here in these wild lands known as the Cragged Hills. With their raid successful, our heroes emerged victoriously back above ground to begin journeying back towards their home base. But this time around, they are not alone. For in their raid, they did not kill all of their enemies, all of the darklings from the Court of Shadows. They also knocked one of these very creatures unconscious, who is now being dragged on the shoulders of our dragonborn friend Grokal.
Semi-willingly? Semi?
He's bound by hands and feet, so I'm not really sure if it's willing at this moment in time. But who knows? You might make a friend along the way.
Well, last session he did say, "Okay, I'll join you."
Yeah, instead of dying.
Still
whatever,
a choice.
whatever.
Still a choice.
You guys still have like 4 days of travel to get back to your home base. So, without further ado, as we jump into today's game, let me just get a nice little other melody going. There we go. So, as the Pack had traveled a couple of short hours downhill away from the cave entrance, all of you eventually, after 2 or 3 hours travel, make camp for nightfall. As this camp is being set up, you already realized that the heavy toll that the raid actually took on Hannah. In the underground cave system, she had already spent a lot of her magical powers, not only to casting spells, but also activating long dormant golems and communicating with the large vegetational entity that inhabited this cavern system as well. And during these last couple of hours, she already made it known to all of you that she is very, very exhausted now that all the adrenaline of the raid has subsided. And while Allison, you have taken a very close look at her with a very good medicine check that I rolled for you. It was a natural 20, by the way. So,
Wow.
so there you go. Yeah, you are very certain that Hannah is a-okay, but she will need some time to recuperate, and as such, isn't really talkative for the next coming days.
Makes sense.
However,
Makes sense.
here, in the shadows of the large mountains, can't freaking find the word. Roof,
Forest.
there we go. A roof of leaves over your head with all of the vegetation that grows here in these lands. A couple of nice stars as the small little points of light above shining down. A campfire in the middle. A large tent that you carry with you set up. All of you are ready to end this day.
Yeah, one observation here.
Mhm.
I think, given that we have a Darkling with us, we're actually changing our day-night cycle around a little bit, and we're traveling during the night and sleeping during the day with cover.
Again, as I said, I can travel in the light.
Oh. You're real, but you can travel in the light.
Yes, I can.
Interesting. Good.
Makes
That makes
easier.
things- that makes things a lot easier, yeah.
Interesting. So you
Now-
guys are... Why is this war still going on then, if you guys can travel, if you guys are actually allowed in the daylight again?
Look, a long time ago when we were banished from our home in the Silly Court, the light would kill us, but not anymore. Our Crescent King has made us more resilient. While the light still burns in my eyes, the blessing of our King has granted us the way to travel above ground, even in the light of day.
Okay, so
It
don't
won't
get
be
me
a pleasure,
wrong.
but I can.
Don't get me wrong. To my understanding right now, you guys radicalized a little bit after the Fae banished you and cursed your whole, civilization, right? Kind of. And that was all for you guys to be able to return back to the light. But you guys now have a mean to that end? I'm not really sure why you guys are still fighting. This is something I'm trying to comprehend here.
Well, I see that the interrogation is continuing, but I was also promised to be a friend, and I do believe that friends have at least a say in the food rations, do they not?
Yeah, definitely. And I get a
Yes.
plate and I give it to him. What would you like? Meat?
I would like a way to scoop food from this plate without my hands tied. That is what I would like.
It is okay. Grakal will keep watch.
Okay, so I'm trying to trust you here. I really am. Really am. But just know that it's 5-on-1 here. We're trying to be civil here. I don't want you running away and hurting yourself in the process. Is that understood?
He also puts up his feet, who are also bound together.
All right. I'm gonna take out a knife and I cut
It's a
out.
good thing he doesn't need his feet to eat.
Could lose his hands.
All right. And in the process, you ruin a perfectly good piece of rope, but his hands are unbound. Thank you. And he
You're
begins to eat.
All right. Without interrogating you anymore, any questions for us? You must be at least somewhat interested in us in that sense.
Well, first off, what are you called? What are the
Pack.
names?
my name is Allison. This here is Iron. We have Gurkal over here.
Hello.
He's not as mean as he looks.
Or is he?
Yes, I am.
And
I have
Hannah
not
over there is a
received
little bit
any
grumpy.
evidence of him not being an angry motherfucker, so...
Well, once you get to know
Yes.
him.
Very well.
What's your name?
My name is Zel.
Sorry, again?
Zel.
Cell.
Z-E-L. Zel.
Nice
For a
name.
moment, I thought your name was Zelda, and it rang a bell. Like I
that's
think
my
I heard
sister.
that name a long time ago. But Cell,
Have you heard of her? She's actually a princess.
is she?
So,
You ask why we fight, Ellison.
That is indeed something I'm trying to understand.
He quickly finishes his plate, puts it down. Do you really think that we only fight for a place in the darkness? Do you actually think that we are allowed here in this place by the people that banished us? No, it is not that easy. We need to fight for a place to survive. We need to fight for our own place in the light.
Okay, so not to mess with your view of the world a little bit too much, but fey creatures aren't looked, well, gracefully upon on the normal people in this realm either. Like, the people that you guys are fighting right now, they can't join a normal civilization either.
Well, either way, the battle stays the same, no? We need to fight for our own place to survive. To be honest, I do not care what those other fake creatures of the Sealy Court are putting themselves or others through. I and my people have enough on our plate as it is. Without their interference, if they would leave us the fuck alone, we wouldn't have to have this conversation. My brethren would not lie dead in the ground by the blood that you spilled not only a day ago.
Okay. So, what would make it possible for you to be able to live here peacefully?
For people to leave us the fuck alone. We didn't venture out of our cave system, you came to us.
Not entirely true. At least, not for the likes of us.
Look, we were here first, and only then these elves and satyrs and whatnot all came pouring through that portal to drive us back to where we came. We are not welcome here in these lands. We are viewed as invaders, nothing more.
Okay. So, the meaning of invaders, right? So let's get onto that one a little bit. Changing the environment as much to, well, let's just put it shortly, make it less inhabitable for the normal inhabitants of this plane is kind of invading still. And that's not something the Fae are doing, that's not something that they should be doing, and it's not something you should be doing either. Like, if you want to live on the prime material plane, don't get me wrong, more than likely, more than happy to invite you over. But getting all of the light away from this place, that's something we cannot allow.
Who are you to invite my people over, young elf? Every place that we go, we are shunned, pushed back, pushed away. No, there is no room here for us unless we take it. So, we take it.
Okay.
If you want to talk about justice, remember who started all of this. The one queen who condemned an entire race of people at the dawn of our very creation.
Okay, so would you like to have a place on the prime material plane or in the Feywild?
Do you honestly think that we could ever return to the Feywild and not be hunted down to the last man?
Well, that
So-
is something that we could
So
look
the
into.
Feywild it is.
let me ask a question, please. If you had powers, if you were God, benevolent God, who did not hurt people, yes? If you were God, and you could make anything happen, like Great Coronel, then What would your people do? What would you do for people?
What strange visions you have of this world. Of course we would like to return to our homeland. We miss it dearly. There is no way to return there. You ask me, what if I were a god? We were shunned from that place by a god. By a goddess who finds herself so perfect in her radiance that she will never, ever change her decision on us. No. We will take what we can, and if we cannot have a place back in the Feywild, we will have a place in the normal light that the material plane has to offer. And we will take it just as your emperor has done long ago, by force if need be.
Why?
Why?
Would you like to live in the Shadowfell? If you
No,
would
No.
I mean,
Fair point. Fair point.
what would you do?
of course you not want to live there. Stories say bad place.
Then what would you do? Would you
But
not
why-
fight for a place outside of the Twisted Realm?
Would I?
Many,
That's
Why
what we
fight
do.
for a place in the material realm?
many places to live. Go to places where no people yet live. My tribe in Wildgrowth, we have room, can help you. Teach to hunt the animals in the Wildgrowth.
You fail to understand that when we got to this place, what is it called? They have a name now. The ones that you aligned yourself. The Dawn of Summer. The warriors from the Feywild, they followed us here. They do not allow us to step on any ground here in this plane.
But we saw people, and you are man. Good man, I think. Grakal hopes. But boss, vampire man, he was very bad. He was not a nice man. He wishes to drink blood of people, and he was very happy to attack and kill people.
Morality becomes very grey when you live in the Shadowfell for as long as I have.
Okay.
Yes.
In the fight for survival, we do indeed cling to power that others would shun.
Okay. Would you like me?
There is
would you?
one point that I'm not really getting still, because you want to live on the material plane, which, in fairness, I totally get. I'm okay with. However, you do carry those negative energy things like those eggs with you, and we on the material plane just don't really vibe with that, you know.
Look, this is information I am willing to share. We need those eggs. We use them to create the black spools. We use them in our campaign.
The black spools?
Yes, the talismans that we carry.
Ah, yeah.
The way to put ourselves here, ready for battle.
Okay. So let me give you a little bit of some information about the history of this realm. So your people are not the only ones that are shunned. Orcs, goblins, all other kind of people have been shunned in the past and have been able to actually get back to it and connect back to it, as long as they're actually willing to communicate and talk with the Empire, talk with its inhabitants, and create some kind of understanding between each other.
So what would you have me do when I step in this place and arrows rain down from above?
Stand behind
Call
Grakal.
it Monday.
What is this Monday?
It happens always. Arrows fly everywhere. Is dangerous place for everyone. But if you ask questions, if you go to a place and ask if you can stay, then people say yes. Grakal often does this, and Grakal is scary too, like you.
He's seen as a
do you
monster
fail
too.
to understand? We step in this plane and our tormentors follow. They
We
pour
shall talk
through
to
their
them.
portals and
We
banish
we
us
said
back from whence we came.
we said we
Yeah.
talked to them. You wish to help us? Yes, that is agreement. We
Four
talked to
humanoids and a cat.
Feywild people.
And 4 humanoids and a cat believe that they can, in a simple conversation, right all of the wrongs that the Summer Queen has put against us.
Oh no.
Well, I like to think of it as a series of conversations. Yeah.
So there's a difference between making up for the past that happens, something that happened between your ancestors and the Summer Queen. I don't think we can really do anything about the things that happened back then. Something that we can do about are the things that are happening as we speak.
Allison, go ahead and make me a society check.
Natural 16 for a 30.
30, alright. You, in your studies, should know very well that Fey creatures are very, very good at keeping grudges.
Yeah.
All of you live in a fantasy. I will travel with you, and I will see what seeds I can plant to see the error of your ways. But do know that once I get to your stronghold, I will be tortured and killed.
We will make sure that that will not be the case, or either we will take up arms ourselves.
Yeah, we
And I
will
look
make sure
very
you
seriously.
won't be tortured.
Then we all will march to our death. Great.
I shall use blade of their queen against them.
I will enjoy these last 4 days of my life.
Let's make sure that doesn't happen.
You do not strike me as the zealous idiots of the Feywild themselves. Why do you fight for them?
Yeah, we kind of got stuck in the middle, man, and we kind of chose a side. Actually, that's how it went. Actually, yeah.
The thing
But
I'm
even
fighting.
if you are misguided, you do seem honest in your, well, at least care of me.
It started with your eggs. We found eggs in mountains below city of giants.
Corrupted them.
It made them weak, sad.
Like I
They
said, they
were
didn't
a
fight.
weak people. Yes. No vibe. So we destroyed the eggs to save the giants because the eggs were doing very bad things.
I understand that these eggs are foreign to you, and that the change that they bring might be viewed as evil. But all the portals that the creatures of the Fae use to come here, they also bring with them changes. Do you see them as positive?
Not all of them. They're very chaotic.
Well,
But when they are bad, we close. When they are good, they stay open. Eggs only show bad things. So, easy choice.
eggs do not only show bad things, they show the other side of things. That is all, a side that a lot, including you it seems, view as evil. But again, when pushed to the brink, we must grab any heretical strength that lets us have an advantage in our struggle for our very place to exist. But I am repeating myself.
And we are
Iroh.
too.
Iroh, is making people sad a bad thing?
Well, it definitely isn't good. It's you can make people sad when you're honest to them and just the reality is sad, and that's not definitely a bad thing. But just making people sad with negative
Magic.
energy is not cool.
You made a lot of
Yes.
people sad back in there.
That is true. We did.
After you destroyed this great tree spirit.
That is
Sadness
true.
is a part of life. And I understand that in your ways you were only doing the best for your own causes and your own survival. And as you can see, we have shunned more ways from our so-called queen back in the day. We do not hold grudges the way we did before. I understand why you did what you did, and that is why I can have a conversation with you here.
Very well.
Sadness is very well known to my heart. I have not hardened it to it, but I have grown accustomed to it.
Okay. So the things that I'm getting from this is in the grudge of the Fae, well, in a response to them, you guys have radicalized and, well, made an alliance with some evil being.
Evil? What evil being?
Vampire.
Vampires are not evil. Power is but power. How you use it makes it good or bad. And again, we do not have the luxury of pure morality when fighting for our place to survive.
Wait. Gurkal angry now. Gurkal was also vampire. Almost. I know what it like. It is... Gurkal knows it is not thing that is how you use it. It is terrible.
Tell me what happened to you.
I was so angry.
No. Tell me what happened to you that turned you into a vampire.
Your count,
Fairwind.
Fartwind, bit me.
He needs to grin a little bit as he understands the word fart. Aha, I understand that common word. And that is all that he did.
Yes.
No wonder that you were on a rampage. You were...
Yes.
What is the word? He turns to you for a moment, Allison, and he speaks in Sylvan with a very heavy accent, but still Sylvan. Vampire spawn, zombie.
Yeah,
It
I get
is-
the idea.
It is not real. It is not true. To be true vampire is not being a slave.
So the thing,
But it requires a true vampire to relinquish its power willingly.
or die?
Or die?
What happens when the vampire dies and they cannot give that assistance anymore freely?
Then it is but a sickness. And you will become the zombie vampire.
Allison minds off a little bit.
What is he saying?
So in general, what he's saying is that the curse that you had, given that there wasn't performed a particular ritual, then you turn mad. Very close to it, kind of.
Vampirism is like this.
He let that happen to all of those that we killed. The weaker vampires. They were all
Controlled.
like me. That is
Probably.
even more evil than I thought. I'm glad I cleaved that man.
Vampirism is like this. The disease is but power. With the ritual, you add control. You wield the power.
How much do you know about this ritual?
Enough that I doubted over it myself. But
We have found a couple of books in our travels. Where have you been stationed?
Aye. Only here.
Many more of your kin have had doubts with this power that Count Fairwind had.
Of course, it is terrible. As any great power, it can be used to create benefit or for one's own destruction.
One could say that with great power comes great, what do you call it?
Stress?
Yeah, I think that was the word, stress.
Stress, yeah. But let me ask you, now that you have heard this, would you not rather take me to the Court of Shadows? I can give you a good entrance. You are not part of the Sealy Court. I can guide you to our people. Let you converse with them. No harm will come to you, I promise. We have no
Can I make
reason. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Natural 20.
He looks very sincere.
I will go, but only if I am allowed to kill vampires. All of them.
You're sounding more like a fae by the minute. With your grudge. Don't
There are many
put everyone in the same corner.
There are
Just
many
because
evil
of
vampires in this world that you can slaughter. But there are lords at my court that are vampires. I believe that you might have, well, witnessed one yourself. He is not to be harmed unless you wish to have harm done to you yourself. Please. I have doubts where we are traveling. If we really are to be on the same side, let me guide you. Let me introduce you to our ways to the Court of Shadows, where I know that it is safe, where I know that no harm will come to anybody. You must realize that it is a great, great risk to push me into the camp of my enemies and expect to come out unharmed.
Okay.
Yes, it will be difficult.
Thank you, Rave.
Let me put it
But-
this way. Kakal?
It must be made right.
What I'm thinking currently is that we will try to reason with the Fae, maybe you, on a very large distance. When we first go walk in, talk, see if there's reason to be made. If there's not, we will not walk you into their camp.
I do not understand. Why take this risk?
Because, compared to you, the Fae aren't our enemies either. We are very neutral on this, and we want to try and end a war that is causing a lot of casualties.
You no longer have any luxury of remaining neutral. You have slaughtered legions of my kin.
And before, we've also killed Fae.
Go ahead and make a deception check.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
He's speaking the truth, though.
We did kill Fae.
Yeah, but he is trying to be deceptive about it because you.
That wasn't the intention.
If you're trying to convince him that you have also killed Fae and that it would be as important as the ones that you slayed, that's being deceptive. You're trying to.
It's not that I'm trying to convince him that that we've also done equal harm to the Fae. That's not what I'm trying to convince.
Well, if you want to add this as an argument to make it look like you're also not with the Fae, then this is going to be like a deceptive way of presenting information in a different way than you have it in your mind. Because you know that it's a complete accident and that it is not an argument for your alignment.
For me, Max, wasn't the intention to make this into an argument.
Alright, then add on the sentence as Allison and we'll fix this up.
There we go. We got it.
Okay. I have a couple of doubts right now.
If you really want me to stay at a safe distance, we are in enemy territory as of now. These lands are not safe for me at all. If you keep me here, I am already hunted. There is no
Hannah.
safe distance.
Is there a way for you to...
What?
Is there a way for you to transform the appearance of our friend here, perhaps?
I don't know, because I don't really know the exact way how druid spellcasting works.
Nah. She doesn't have
Don't think so.
illusion spells.
No, I don't think you can change the appearance of somebody else unless like
I can
higher
loan
up
him my
getting
cloak.
embodiment and stuff.
Cloak works.
It's
Ooh.
at least a point.
The clandestine cloak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would put the awareness of yourself.
Okay, so you realize that you have an item, Iro.
I think I can help a little bit, and I give him the cloak. I put it on him.
You hand him the cloak. You're handing me back something that you stole from us. How very thoughtful.
It's just for borrowing. Point 1. Point 2. This will help you hide yourself a little bit.
It will aid, yes, but
It's a bit. And we're here. We can say that you're with us.
please, just take the safe route. Let me bring you to the Court of Shadows. I beg you for my life, literally.
I look at the others. Allison's becoming a little bit more convinced by the second.
I am convinced by this guy. However,
Moral
I think
ambiguity.
I think the thing to do now is to talk with the Fae about things we've learned and kind of get to the Fae like, hey guys, what up? Because he's telling a whole different story, and these two don't really overmatch.
Yes. Grakal grabs a small hunting knife. Nah, yeah, well, he's too clumsy, and he cuts through the rope at his legs as well.
As you do so, he backs away a little bit scared of what you're about to do, but then you cut the rope. And he puts his hands on his like very, very sore legs and begins to rub them a little bit.
If he wants to hurt you, he'll take his, bigger weapon, not a knife.
Zell, if you stay with us, I shall defend you to dying breath. I swear in eyes of Kuranau. If you run, I will hunt you until yours. Yes?
Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
You have my blade.
That's a total of 25
25.
on a natural 9.
Nice. Go. Where do I have?
Could I aid on this by basically also nodding and saying like, you have my promise as well?
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Fair enough. Both of you also make intimidation checks.
Okay, I feel like Iro's
Can
gonna
I-
kill.
Can I aid by using something
No,
else?
aiding is the exact same skill.
Is it
That's how
supposed to be
aiding
the same
works.
skill?
Yeah. That's how aiding works.
Fair enough.
This is gonna be the most intimidating. Yeah, I'll do my best that you've ever heard with 30 on my intimidation check.
So as you say this, like you're lying down and you're being like all relaxed, but you also use an action to get into mountain stance. So you flex up and you
Yeah.
sink down into the ground a little bit as you say that. Like whoa, he means
It's like that Old Spice commercial
Yeah.
where his pecs are just
Yep.
I'll do
Allison?
what I can.
I also had a success. I have a 20.
20.
Alright,
All right.
So it becomes a 27 then.
Yes. All right. And with that, he like takes a moment to look over you. He also looks at Hannah, who is like just sitting there a little bit like grumble, 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 and just says, believe you. Now, if we are to trust each other, I do realize that my meager combat capabilities are not enough to take all of you on. So,
Hannah, can he has your fire staff? Can he have?
can he has? I don't know if Hannah would part with it.
She's using the other one right now. Yeah, it's difficult to say.
Look, one of the black spools would also suffice. The black talismans.
Okay, so the one thing I'm very worried about right now, and let's be honest here, we are walking into enemy territory for you. We know that these things can be traced. We've put them away for safekeeping for that exact reason. Can I trust you? And I look him very deeply in the eyes.
To be honest, I do not know how they can be traced, but I do know as long as I wear it around my neck, no other person can take its place.
Can I make a perception check?
You can indeed, to see if he speaks the truth.
I want to make an Arcana check or occultism check to see if Gurkal believes him. I've untrained improvisation. I'm okay at everything now.
Sure. You have a lot of what do you call it? Experience with like tribal occultist things. Your
Yeah,
shamans
I mean
and your
talismans
jungles.
are totally
Yeah.
my jam.
They're totally your tribe shaman's gem, almost like entirely. Like he almost didn't even wear clothes, just all the talismans like around. Like, so go ahead and make an occultism check.
Occultism. Wait,
My perception.
that's a natural 16 for 22.
It's difficult to say how this thing would work. Like you have seen people apparate through them, like in the hole, in the neck hole, like fill them up. So could be logical, could also be complete bullshit that he tells you. Allison?
31.
31. He seems pretty honest.
You seem like an honest man.
I say we no take risk. If danger comes, we'll throw talisman to you.
Look, if we are going to travel together, the small pieces of magic that I wield will gladly aid myself and all of you. I think it's for the best.
What kind of other focus would you be able to use?
Look, if I am going to walk to my death, I would like to be prepared. And next to that, I have different ways of magic to detect if anything is out of the ordinary in our midst.
I'm all for giving you the talisman, man. I think we can trust you.
Look, there are many different.
As long as look, you're not gonna do you're not gonna do weird stuff because us three are here and Hannah is here, and we can probably take you even with a talisman. So I am all for giving you the talisman.
I
And
understand
giving you
that
that
running right
bit
now
of
is
respect to you
mandatory.
as well.
Thank you. Iroh, was it?
Yes.
Thank you. And indeed,
Alright.
I understand that if I run right now, I already go to my death, and otherwise I still have a couple of days, and who knows what happens.
Give him a talisman.
He holds out his hand, like
Hannah
expecting
has them. So Hannah grabs one and
Well, Hannah pulls one out of the bag of holding.
all right. Gurkal will grudgingly just grab it and hold it out for him.
And as you hand the talisman towards him, he does look at Hannah and he mumbles, "Well, that is more than just a little trinket now, isn't it?" Commenting on the bag of holding. As he puts the talisman around his neck, he puts up the hood, and as he does so, the clandestine cloak does make it these darklings. They do look fairly humanoid, although they do have like a little bit of elf-ish features. And as soon as he puts up the hood of his cloak, you can see that the tone of his face just shifts to a more like normal Caucasian, like a little bit brown but more Caucasian color, and he almost seems completely human for a second. And you really have to like focus your eyes to realize that he is Zell. Like, hey, who is this? Wait, oh no, I got it. As the magic of this cloak makes him just a normal humanoid that would live in these regions.
DM,
Yes.
the current camp's location, was that like very near the portal?
Very near the portal to the Feywild.
Yes.
It is a 4 days travel back to the portal.
So the camp.
Yes, where you the base camp.
Yes.
The base camp is literally built around the portal.
Fuck. I don't want to meet there. Guys, we might have a little bit of an issue. So, honestly, seriously, I want to trust him, but I don't want to bring him literally to where the portal is. We are gonna have to converse with the Fae at some different location.
So grabs the talisman, and as he mutters a few words, you all feel a slight tingle running through you as he says, "Oh shit, you have a lot of trinkets on your person." As he has cast Detect Magic.
We do. And I will eat in a little second, Ave. I need to literally... I need to cut this. I have a cake, fudge cake, but I need to cut it still.
No, that's one snack. Push it into your mouth.
Push it into your mouth, nice.
Okay, so, Aro, could you have Lenore send a message to the Fae that we want to meet somewhere outside of the encampment? Because we're not meeting there.
Yeah, we can do that.
Why not?
Nor?
As a small crow lands on your shoulders. No, sorry, raven, small raven. Excuse me.
Okay, Lenora, we need to do something. I need to give you a little message on a little piece of paper. Let me get a little piece
Hannah,
of paper.
can you help him?
Oh, for fuck's sake. And Hannah walks over and he smacks you with her staff as she casts Speak with Animal on your person. I don't have time for this. And she sits back down.
Okay, I have like a little piece of paper for you. For the Fae. You know, the guys that we talked to earlier.
The small raven speaks back to you. Ah, how sweet. My small little pet has a note for me.
To me?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did you just call me your pet?
Shh. What is it you need, sweetie?
Okay. The Fae need to meet us outside of their encampment because we have a situation that cannot get close to the portal. I think that is a good thing to say to them. Yeah.
You want me to deliver a note? Is that it, cutie?
That's all.
Do you want scratchies?
Well, now that you offer them, I'm not gonna say no to scratchies.
Lenore picks up one of the small clawed feet. She begins to scratch you behind the ear, and it feels really, really nice actually.
You are an absolute godsend.
Very well. Then Lenore points towards Hannah and caws a few words. Do take care of him while I'm gone, okay? And she hops at the ready to take the note from you.
All right. So make sure the note has a location that we know of.
Yeah.
Maybe the old goblin camp.
How far away is that?
It's right near the portal, the Trent or End portal, right? The portal to the Feywild, all in the Cragged Hills.
Yeah, Cragged Hills are big.
Yeah, that's fair.
What's the closest location that we know of, DM?
All right, so to make things easier for you, on your way to the place that you just raided a day ago, you encountered a member of the Dawn of Summer, the Fey creatures that are battling the Court of Shadows and the Darklings, and he had with him a nice little map, which gave you a couple of pointers with some landmarks and stuff. And on that map, there was actually a landmark of a piece of large stone rising out of the ground itself, probably due to some large earthquake a long time ago. Which would be a easy landmark to point out, as it is a large piece of stone just peeking up out of the foliage. So that would be a nice place that you guys could meet, which is approximately half to 1 day away from the encampment of the Dawn of Summer.
Still pretty close. But I think
Yeah,
it will
we're
do.
not close. Yeah.
Like, we're not gonna say that it's close. Like, we're like, oh, hey, this is somewhere there. And
Yeah, and we put in the note, I don't know, we have important information before we come back to the portal. And right now we can't come back to the portal. Be vague, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that will do
Yeah.
the trick.
And tell the commander to come with, just tell the commander to come and she'll probably bring an entourage. That's how commanders work.
Okay, so let me see if I got this correct. You are just going to write a note which says, we have information to share that can't make it to the portal. Come meet us at the location. Bring Dimitra. Come together with a fire team, basically.
we don't necessarily want to specify the latter one, because then they'll probably bring a small army. Let's just say, hey, we need Dimitra.
I think that's
So
that's
they can make up their own mind how many other people they want to send.
Right. So I'll allow all three of you to go ahead and make an intelligence check for me.
Well, that's pretty high. 21.
All right. So right now, this is just a random note that is going to arrive that says it's from you guys.
Yeah, I'm at least gonna give like a signature for myself. Is there anything else we can?
Oh, they know your signature. Oh, that's nice.
They've
No.
seen Lenore.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Lenore is a raven.
Fair.
Like if the enemy would try to lure the commander out of the camp, this might be a very good way to do so.
I'm thinking of something that can make it a bit more us.
It would probably be wise to also include like some means of verifying that it is you that she's about to meet. Because right now, just saying like, hey, it's the same raven. Well, Allison, you can already think of 5 different magical ways to enslave a small beast such as Lenore.
Did we already use that scroll of like sending or message or whatever?
Yeah, I don't think that's like
No. We
necessary
give her the
here.
scroll. We give her the scroll. She
As
used
you say it, Allison, he grasps the skull as Gollum and just goes like,
My precious.
my precious.
I mean, we sent that with Lenore.
They don't know that we had that scroll.
Yeah, no. But then they use the scroll to talk to us,
Verify.
and they know it's us. Yeah.
Or
Is
you
there-
can just use the scroll right now. Like
Yeah.
that's you can just use the scroll to say this exact thing to her and be done with it.
That's hilarious.
Like, no, we're going to send the scroll over to her. She can use it on us. Like, it's
Fucking convoluted plans
Yeah.
101. I mean, we're playing a tabletop RPG. We're gonna come up with these insanely unnecessarily
yeah.
complex things.
Is there,
Very detailed.
guys? Is there a particular icon that we have? Because we don't need to use this scroll. Is there a particular icon that we can basically say like, "Hey, we're the pack"? Is there something that we have?
The sign of Kur now.
Do we have a particular?
Can
Screw it out
Lenore
outside.
carry the sword?
Ooh,
the
no.
entire Lenore is like 10 centimeters tall. The sword.
Can you imagine being Dimitra and being in the camp like, oh, there's a crow coming. Oh, but it's probably a crow because it's carrying a sword. Just a crow carrying a sword coming into your camp. Like, we must fight.
Fuck.
You can't just use the scroll and be done with it. It's a
Yeah.
consumable item that's been with you for like, well, I don't know, a year.
Fuck it.
Let us
Okay.
use the scroll, Allison.
This is the exact way that this sorts of things are supposed to be used, you know?
I'm a hoarder. Okay.
I know you are.
Okay, we're using the scroll, and
Alright.
we're basically going to say the same lines.
Very well. So you take the scroll out of your bag. You begin to cry profusely, unstopping tears at the mere prospect of wasting this thing. But you push through. and eventually send the message to Dimitra.
Sorry, I'm just imagining Dimitra just sitting there in her tent, and suddenly there's this crying Allison talking into her like, "We have information, and we can't go to the portal. We need you to meet us somewhere."
So Dimitra answers, "Oh dear, it must be of great importance that you would use such a precious item to convey this information to me. I'll be sure to be there in 3 days."
So you have some days to travel.
Perfect. Deception check succeeded.
I'm gonna give us a little bit of experience for this whole thing. Just a little.
For not being idiots.
For having this little moment with us together. So, with that, Allison, the scroll ignites.
I will remember this, Wouter!
What you gonna do? I'm the dungeon daddy. You have nothing on me.
Nice. That was also good interaction. I give you 2 XP.
Thank you. The whole fucking campaign just leveled up. Everything's 1 level higher now. All right, so that setup is at least done. And to be honest, like you guys actually using the scroll for that does give it a little bit more weight, so to speak.
Yeah.
So that's also the way that I will allow Dimitra to just accept this and be there for you.
All right, yeah. Then basically what we'll do is we will go there, scout out around the area, make sure that things are safe, etc. Set up a nice meeting point, and then, yeah.
Very well. Then, after a long conversation around the fireplace, the pack eventually goes off to sleep. I will say that everybody is going to hold watch, I believe.
Yes, and Zal is sleeping in... Or Grikal offers his tent for Zal.
Well, there's basically the big tent, you know. You have a very, very large tent that you hold in the bag of holding, which is basically like a living room with 2 side tents, which hold enough space for 2 different sleep places on each side.
So Grikal is basically gonna sleep right next to Zal.
Very well.
Just kind of, like, Zal has to step over Grikal's massive form without touching him in order to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. All right. So, as watches are scattered across the party. Oh, Allison. Yes.
During my watch, being kind of sneakily, what Allison will do the next following days, he will very much keep in check on his own health, and he will take blood samples. He will do all kind of alchemical experiments with himself to try and kind of find out the immediate process of the vampirism, and try and see if he can get some more information about the process in general, and see if he can maybe do something with it at some point.
All right. So, as this first evening comes to all of you, let's see who's taking first watch.
Sure.
Oh, all right. So, as you step outside of the tent, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
That is... I have a hero point. I'm going to use it. I feel like that is applicable. Because I just rolled a 4. And that's a natural 20. That's perfect.
Ooh.
So, 29.
All right. So, as you sit outside next to the small smoldering campfire, your ever-burning torch out of your person, keeping watch, you just gaze outward a little bit and eventually also look upward to see the moon dragon perhaps fly by, which you kind of do. As you peer through the foliage up top, you can see one star vanishing and reappear, and then another one vanish and reappear, as if some large shadow is passing overhead. As you peer outward, you quickly realize that it might be a good time to push out the last piece of fire, which you do with your full-plated boot fairly quickly, and you put away your ever-burning torch. As you can see, still as the night itself, two large draconic figures just glide by.
Damn. Lucky us. Alright, so Gurkal keeps his glowing weapon sheathed.
Excuse me, they went towards the cave system that you just left.
Alright.
Were they of any particular color?
No, but I mean, I know what's... Gurkal puts one and one together.
In the midst of night.
Gurkal's putting one and one together. He, yeah. Okay. Gurkal keeps his spear and shield out. And he just stays until the end of his watch, when he goes to wake up Allison instead of whoever we agreed upon.
Allison it is.
And Gurkal kind of pulls you outside eventually as you wake up.
I saw two shadows go through the sky.
Fuck.
Like the great beasts we fought before. I've done away with fire. But when we next travel, we should cover tracks. For they will come and search. But if we keep to shadows, maybe they not see us through trees.
I think that's a smart idea.
Should wake up earlier.
I'll keep an eye on the sky.
Yes. We'll keep weapons ready. Maybe we fight dragons again.
Excuse me. As you can see, I have left a talisman in the tent. Allison, is it okay if I sit with you for a while?
Depends. Anything you want to discuss? Or unable to sleep?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
28?
28. His eyes, as you ask, is there anything you want to discuss? They just for a moment dart towards your neck and then back to your eyes.
Alright. I trust you.
Be careful.
And Gurkal just moves over his head and sniffs loudly the darkling. I have sent 30 feet imprecise, by the way. And he smells him.
I still think you smell funny.
And he walks off into his tent to find rest.
As Zell puts the cloak of clandestine thicker around him to give him a little bit of extra warmth, he steps towards and he says, "In this realm, everything smells funny to me." As he puts
Yet you want to live here.
It's a smell I can get used to.
Well, as you clearly seem to be aware, and I conduct my research as we speak.
It is a magical disease. One that I'm very accustomed to. I don't want to put you against the rest of your party members, but why are you not telling them?
There's something off with my body. I'm not sure if it's a curse or something else, but...
It's up his hand. Let me guess. A problem severe enough that you might want to embrace some heretical strength.
Could say that.
You know, Us court priests, we are the ones that normally imbibe in the ritual. That's why I know so much about it. I was one
Well.
of the helping hands with the creation of Count Fairwind.
You seem like a good guy. I could use your help.
Oh, I'm not a good guy. Morality is a luxury that my people do not have, but
Yet.
I do not stand anything to gain of outing you against the rest of your party, and we do not stand anything to gain with you becoming some sort of zombie. So, I'm not sure if I can slow down or halt the process, but I have some knowledge on the Ascension. But the problem is we need the blood of the vampire that gave you that bite mark to ascend you.
Well, luckily he's dead.
Do you have the blood?
Should have known this earlier, I suppose.
Then
It's a little bit difficult to gain blood from an enemy that is literally, well, destroyed by light.
yeah, that weapon that your friend carries is a hefty one.
I could see if there are any remains on my blade. I've been washing it down.
No, that won't be enough. Well, if we don't have the blood, then another catalyst will be needed.
Just trying to search away with alchemy. There are many things that can be done.
And until then, you are fucked.
I'm also a medic. Let's just say I know my way around diseases.
What do you think the rest of your party will say when your fangs eventually grow longer?
What happens if I remove them?
I'm not sure. I always thought they would grow back, but
I can imagine not in a day.
I am not just handing you this information out of the goodness of my heart, Allison. There is a point that I want to make, and that is... You asked me before, earlier this evening, if we needed to travel through the darkness. My answer was that we don't.
We will, don't we?
No. You misunderstand. My kind is not the only one that's been blessed by the Crescent King. The Curse of Vampirism. Normally it would limit you to a life of darkness. With the blessing of the Crescent King, not so. Sunlight still harms and, well, irritates the ones with the vampiric blessing, but Count Fairwind could walk through the day. It is one of the reasons that he could take up this curse. Search your heart, you know this to be true. Why would he ever turn to the way of vampirism if the end goal of him and my people are to return to the light? I'm telling you, if you wish to carry this burden in the court of shadows, you can learn how to walk with it in the light. I saw you were doubting already. There are no wrong options for your party. Either we go to the fake reach that you already know, or we go to the court of shadows. There is only things to be gained. But for you, there might be more to gain in one place than the other. And for me, that is true doubly so.
We remain to our current plan. We've already started let's just say a meeting. We will have this meeting, and afterwards, I do plan on traveling with you, even if the others of my party do not, like it.
Well,
If it's true what you're saying, and your kin are just radicalized people that want a home, then we can see if that's possible in a way. I'm not against your people, but I'm also not against the Fae. I'm just hoping to find a solution for the both of you. That's all.
all right. Then, 2 things. 1, if you really want us to be friends, stop calling my people radicalized. It's quite offensive. And 2, how long did it take Rakal before the sickness took him? And with that last sentence, he steps up and he begins to walk away.
Do I kind of recall?
A matter of days.
Okay.
1 long rest was enough to ignite Grakal's bloodlust and push him away from your party on a rampage.
I will continue what I said earlier, and I will conduct research on myself.
As Zell takes a very, very large step over Grakal and gets back in his small little sleeping quarters. Allison, go ahead and make a medicine check for me, please.
25.
25. As you take your own blood samples and realize that the wounds in your neck are still bleeding, the bite mark from this vampire is still present, you try to find out what the hell is going on, and you get to the same blockade that you found the last time when you also examined Grakal. And that is that this sickness is not a normal sickness. It is a magical thing. Like it acts in the same way as a disease does, but it's more akin to a curse than actual disease that can be fought with mere antidotes and stuff. And as such, you don't really find any more information. Like you take a look at yourself, you don't feel changed. Like it's still sore. But with simple medicine, it seems very, very difficult to ascertain anything of like the condition, the stage.
With alchemy? Okay. Well, I'll try and continue doing so until I find something.
All right.
So,
this evening, it seems that nothing does happen to you or concerning your research on finding an answer. And eventually you realize that your watch is coming to an end.
I'll wake up Ira.
Yeah. Oh, hey, what's up?
Get up. It's your turn.
And I get out of bed.
Ira, be mindful of the sky. Don't put it on a fire. There are probably dragons luring around.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna. Oh no! I was gonna say I'm just gonna lay down and just stare at the sky and stare at the stars, but then I figured I will probably fall asleep if I do that. So I'll just keep a mindful eye at the skies in the meantime.
All right. As you sit down and keep a mindful eye of the skies, go ahead and make a perception check.
That's a 25.
25. All right. For that, I will have to check my chart. That is 24. All right. So, as you sit here during your watch, gazing up at the sky, you do eventually hear, like echoing through the sky, just a remnant carried on the breeze of what seems to be a dragon's roar. far away, but still vocalized. The wind just standing at the right angle, carrying the sound further than it would normally into the camp. Just a slither, nothing more. But a cry that you recognize as one of the shadow dragons of the Court of Shadows. You gaze backward at the rest of your party, seeing them sleep peacefully, undisturbed by this sound.
I think I'm just gonna keep still, stay low to the ground, and just wait.
And as you do so, the pitch black of night slowly turns into purple, into dark blue, into lighter blue, as you are no longer in the night, but instead in the long cast shadows of the mountains surrounding you. As you hear all the different birds and critters come back to life after a long rest, and eventually the rest of your party also comes back to consciousness, as you can continue your travels to whatever goal. And as we'll take a short break, we will be back here in 15 minutes to start the travels. Oh dear, people, things are going on.
They are. They are. All right, interesting.
And I don't like one bit of it.
I do.
I like a lot of it because I'm sowing discourse. And if there's one thing your Dungeon Daddy likes, it's sowing discourse within the party. We'll be back at 5 past, 9:35, that's the time. Jesus. There are a couple of things that just don't seem to work with my mouth tonight. Title.
Mouths are hard.
Mouths are hard. Mouths are hard.
What?
Doing the words is difficult sometimes. We'll be back here in 15 minutes. Hopefully with better mouths. See you then.
Mouths are hard, not as hard as you think you put in them. Joe.
And back are we. Welcome everybody to the second half of this beautiful episode. Nice. There we go, the drop of the music. And let's jump back into our game. So, last we left off, our heroes known as the Pack, going back from a raid on a stronghold of their enemies, known as the Court of Shadows, took with them a hostage, so to speak. A darkling by the name of Zell, who now travels with the party. Conversing with each other about what the different sides had to offer, the Pack slowly began to realize that Zell had some things to say that they did not expect. Zell talking about the Darklings in the Court of Shadows only fighting for a place in the sun, for their own plot of land, so to speak, here on the material plane, to be able to walk in the sunlight once more instead of just roaming the Shadowfell, their dark dimension from whence they came. And the allies that the Pack has made being painted as no more than, racist vanguards of this plane.
Bullies.
Bullies, indeed. It is now for the Pack to decide which words they will believe, as, I'm not about to tell them, which is correct. And as the morning now comes, Allison still has a nasty little infection on his neck. The previous day being bitten by a vampire and the vampiric curse slowly entering his body. Zell offering a way out, as he has knowledge of vampirism and could, as he so put it, perform a ritual to not only be empowered by the curse, but to also control it. For that normally, however, the blood of a true vampire would be required, something that the party does not have, and as such, Allison is, faced with a predicament, if you will. To find a substitute would be one thing, to cure vampirism would be another. We will see how that works out for him in the near future. At this moment, however, as the Pack welcomes another beautiful morning here in the overgrown mountains known as the Cragged Hills, the campsite is quickly and firmly packed up and squatted back into the bag of holding, the interdimensional backpack that is being carried on Hannah's side. Hannah's still not really feeling all that well, a little bit under the weather, so still going to be quite quiet for this day of the journey. And that's the entire pack now with another companion. Ooh, thank you, Mariska, for the feeding. As the pack makes ready for another day's travel, what would you guys like to do?
Yeah, for me it's quite simple. I'm gonna look for herbs.
I'm gonna look for herbs.
Herbs, yeah. Yes.
All right.
Specifically, negative resistance ones. If I can find them here, I'm not sure.
If you that's the thing. If you look in your document, I believe that it will say that it's only what you know at least is that it can be found in the Shadowfell. That's about it.
Okay, never mind on that one then. I'm just gonna search randomly, see what I find.
Random.
Random.
Oh my god.
Grakal stops you and holds you by the shoulder.
Allison, remember, the dragons hunt for us. We do not have much time.
I'm seriously, I'm just looking on the speed that you guys are traveling. You don't have to worry on it.
Okay.
Allison has grown a lot quicker in this process, and I've taken a feat that basically makes it so that I can search on the same speed as you guys are walking.
Allison can do one activity during travel freely. Basically.
Nice. All right. Fair enough.
All right, so
Arrow? I love how he's just not talking.
yeah.
Right.
What do you want to do?
Call and Iroh do during their travels.
Grakal is going to keep on lookout. Yeah, he's going to keep an eye on the sky. He's going to specifically watch out for dragon sounds. And he's going to see if he can't instruct Hannah to cover our tracks.
Hannah can do so, but if that's the case, then another person will have to take lead and guide the party through the wilderness. Normally, Hannah is always the person that guides you through these wildlands, as she is a druid. So I figured that she would do the same thing as always.
I have the nature stuff. I can guide us.
Yeah?
No problem. Yeah.
You have the survival stuff as well?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Very well.
My survival's 9. What's yours?
9.
Oh, fair enough. Perfect.
All
Then
right.
I will keep an eye out. You will lead.
Okay, and Hannah will go ahead and make sure that your tracks are covered as you are leaving the now ruined stronghold of your enemies. All right, so with that, I would like Allison to go ahead and make a Herbalism check, Grakal to go ahead and make a Perception check, and Iroh to go ahead and make a Survival check. So we begin this first day of travel.
Nice! Natural 20 again on my perception check. Grakal is on a roll.
Nice.
That's for
Alright,
18
so-
for me.
As you guys enter the woods once more, leaving your quaint campsite behind, going over different hills, following different small creeks and streams, through the foliage, this thick, thick vegetation of the Cragged Hills, you start off well. You sometimes take a look back and see Hannah deftly cover all of your tracks, and if you gaze further into the woods, there is nothing that would otherwise alert anybody that you might be traveling these ways, making sure that you probably cannot be followed. You realize that you rolled quite high. All right, so with that, Iroh, what is your survival check?
Yeah, it's a bit of an improvisation, but we'll get there. It's a 21.
21. All right. For these lands that you have traveled through a couple of times already, it's not that, bad. So you guys do make quite a nice travel, and you do not lose any time on this leg of the journey. As this goes on, Allison, what was your Herbalism check?
With a natural 18, that becomes a 32.
A 32. Very well, very well. So that would mean just taking a look at my chart for a second. All right. Yada, yada, yada. Let's see here. Ooh, yes. As you guys are traveling through these woodlands, Iroh, you do have a little bit of difficulty to push back the vegetation. Normally, Hannah can like guide you through nice little paths, but this time it's a little bit, well, brute forced, if you will.
And imagine that I am pushing the leaves in front of me away, so you guys still have to push the leaves in front of your face away because I can't reach.
Yeah, which is actually a nice little combo. Yeah, like you pushing the leaves at the bottom away, the other person pushing the leaves at the top away, so now everything gets pushed away and you guys can push through. Sometimes, however, you get to these bushes that you try to push through, but you realize that the foliage is really, really thick and you have to be like, sorry guys, we need to turn another way. And at that moment, you actually see Allison like dart, like dive out of one bush into another one as he parkours himself through all of the underbrush. And eventually, Allison, you realize that there is a very, very nice, sweet smell in the air. You think back on the times that you were still in the high society of elvenkind, and you think back on all the different perfumes that you used to, fragrant yourself, and also smell on different people surrounding you, and you begin to remember a very, very sweet fragrance that your actual sweetheart used to wear.
Oh.
Being intrigued by this smell, you quickly track it down, and eventually you come to what seems to be a bush.
Bush.
A rose bush, so to speak.
Is it a shrubbery or a bush?
It's a rose bush.
Oh.
One singular rose bush, quite elongated, as it seems to have find a nice place where the foliage above is parted a little bit, so it can get like enough sunlight to grow nice and thick, if you will. And they seem to be normal. Go ahead and make a perception check.
That's a 27.
27. As you walk towards the rose bush, from one side it seems to be completely normal, until you realize that this elongated rose bush is completely, utterly symmetrical. Like the one side of the rose bush is completely symmetrical to the other side.
Interesting.
Very.
I'll inspect it further.
It seems otherwise to be indistinguishable from a normal rosebush, except for the fact that its scent is beautiful and it reminds you of your sweetheart, and it is growing here completely, utterly symmetrical. For all other intents and purposes, it is a rosebush.
Hannah, I'm not sure if this is a trap. This thing is triggering, well, a lot of things for me. Could you check if this is magical?
No need to bother her, as Zell makes his way through the bushes as well. No, not magical. Pretty, but not magical.
Very well. I'll try and gain a few samples.
I see that's not going to be as pretty as long. And at that sign, Zell turns away and gets back to the party. Go ahead and make a crafting check to see how well you are at harvesting this here thing.
Running pretty well today, again.
Nice.
Crafting. Let's see, where was that thing? Oh, that was over there. Oh, that's very high. That's a 35.
35, all right. Critical success, so you get 2 doses. As you begin to realize that the stems of these roses, where like the very sweet, nice fragrance is coming from, is probably the sweet spot that you would like to harvest. You make sure that you get a nice little bush of these roses, wrap them in one of your wet cloths to make sure that they keep well as you travel with them. And you can add 2 doses of this plant that you have no idea what it's for.
Great stuff. Great. Okay.
All right.
I'll add that.
As the travels of the pack continue, I would also like somebody to roll me a... no, you know what? I'm going to roll it myself. Right here in chat. There you go. I'm just going to roll a d20 right over there. Yoink. And that is a 14 for random encounter. All right. Let me change up the music a little bit for this one. Because as the travels continue, for a couple of hours, things seem to be completely ordinary. Gurkal, you keep a very, very watchful eye up in the sky. No dragon wings flapping about. Iroh, you make sure that you keep your party on the right track. Until eventually, Gurkal, I will say with your natural 20 in perception, I will give you this small little tidbit of information. As you were traveling, you begin to smell something. Very, very faint. It is only that you are already attuned to the presence of dragons that you pick up this smell. At the same time that you pick up this smell, all of you also begin to hear something. A clatter of water. Not a lot, but it seems that a small waterfall must be near. And it is just a hint, recall. If it were a real live-ass dragon, you would have picked up way, way more than this. But there is a hint of dragonness in the same direction that this clattering water is coming from.
Something smells funny. Weapons. And Garkal readies his shield and his spear as he walks towards the sound of the waterfall.
All right.
Okay, I will do the same, I suppose. Draw my weapon.
I follow in mountain stance.
Zell grasps his icon again and just says, I guess this will do it. This will have to do as a weapon, as he follows suit. Hannah still not feeling well following it up. Taking a small little detour of approximately 5 minutes to get you towards this place where the waterfall is being heard. You have to still yourself eventually, Gurkal, as you push through a large piece of foliage, cutting it away with your bladed weapon a little bit, until you stand on the precipice of a large hole in the ground. There is a approximately 20-meter long hole in the ground with, on the bottom of it, a small little lake bed that has been created. On the edges of it, it seems that soil has been gathered through a long, long time where different pieces of vegetation are also being grown out of. And from the far side, a small little trickle of water is falling into this small crater, if you will. Completely overgrown, it's quite idyllic, and you can actually see that underneath there, one piece of soil is not overgrown and a small beachhead is actually created. The water underneath has a little bit of a turquoise glow towards it, and going further on your scent of smell, the very faint draconic essence is coming from the water itself.
I think maybe dragon hiding in water. Like the goblins.
Well, if that's the case, why are we here?
Go ahead and, Gurkal, go ahead and make a survival check for me real quick.
That's on a +9. That's a total of 15.
15, all right.
Do we just want to avoid it? Does it feel bad to you?
I do not know. So I rotate my spear in a little flourish, and I throw it down into the water.
Go ahead and make a attack roll for me.
That would be throwing my spear with a plus 14. That is not super high. That is a 21.
21. Like underneath this nice still water, it eventually strikes into the dirt, and you can see through the water that a small piece of dirt that has been collecting on the bottom just poofs up a little bit and then slowly drifts down. Nothing happens.
Huh. Then something different. Gorkal want to see if everyone is okay. Few minutes.
Be careful,
Well,
okay?
Everything we do here will only elongate my life, so I'm good with anything.
So
Well,
Gorkal... Oh, yeah.
We'll keep you in sight.
I have no
Yes.
intention to leave your side anyway.
Gorkal undoes the straps on his plate armor. And how deep is the pond?
It seems to be, now that you've thrown your spear into it, becomes way clearer how deep it actually is. It's about like 4 or 5 meters deep.
Oh, that's very
Yes,
deep.
It's
And
very deep, yeah.
And how high above it are we?
Right now you are hanging about like less than that. Like I think 5 meters above the water surface.
Oh, perfect. All
Okay,
right.
a good diving board distance, if you will.
So, yeah, exactly. So Gorkal takes off the straps. He leaves on only his vambraces and his shin guards, because why bother? And he cracks his neck, and he cannonballs into the water.
As this large crimson-scaled dragonborn leaps out of the foliage, the water is disturbed, and you can also see that the soil on the bottom of it is kicked up a little bit. Scared that other things might happen, you eventually see Gorkal come back up top. Seconds go by.
And
Minute.
Gorkal goes back down. First to retrieve his spear, which he puts gently on the little beach head. And he takes a little sip of the water first.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check.
19.
19. All right. As you pull back your spear, your feet sink into the soil a little bit until eventually you feel something solid underneath one of them.
Ooh.
Then, as you do so, you also take a sip of the water. Oof. It tastes very, very foul.
Ugh.
You can already feel your stomach becoming upset a little bit.
So Gorkal's gonna try and dig for whatever that solid was.
Okay.
He's gonna go underwater. He's a great swimmer. And he's gonna go and hold his breath while he digs for whatever it is down there.
All right. While Gorkal is doing this, is there anything that the other party members would like to do?
Was it a clear pond? Like, how clear can I see through it?
Not anymore.
Not anymore at the place where Gorkal is now starting to dig, but on the other side, you can see that the entire pond is pretty much completely clear.
Okay. I will keep a watch out.
All right.
I think I will do the same in the meantime.
Okay. As you guys are keeping a watch out up above, Gorkal, as you begin to dig, go ahead and make an athletics check for me real quick.
That would be a 24.
24. Yeah, without much effort, all the loose soil is pushed away as you begin to uncover that the solid thing that you pushed on is elongated. And as you begin to dig further and further, you eventually come to a place where it connects. And then another elongated piece of hard material becomes apparent. As you begin to realize that you are uncovering different rib bones. Large rib bones. Very, very large rib bones. A rib cage large enough to encompass, if you will, a gargantuan creature.
Nice.
Is it dead?
It's a ribcage, so I assume.
Oh, you never know in this game.
Elongated. Sorry, Ave.
So Gorkal comes up. I found something. I found something.
Is it dangerous?
I think. I think it's a dead dragon. He screams.
That's indeed kind of interesting. Okay, can you uncover it? What do you want to do with this?
Make another necklace. He kind of mumbles, so you don't really hear it. Maybe treasure. Dead dragon, treasure.
All right.
Yeah, but we can't dig out a whole dragon inside a pond at the moment, can we?
Shadow Man, can you help search for magical things in water?
I guess. Can I also do it from the side? As he points towards a small beachhead.
Yes, point me 2 places. Grakol will dig.
Very well. Okay, as he slowly makes his way to the side of the beachhead and tries to climb down. Oh, quite successfully, actually. As he and eventually just lets himself fall the last 3 meters. And as he does so, he sinks in with his feet a couple of centimeters into the loose soil as he gets himself up. Well, it seems that I'm too far away. As he slowly begins to bathe into the pond itself. As he swims with you, he grasps his icon once again. Right over there, as he points to one direction.
Sweet! Grakol starts digging.
All right.
Like a happy puppy.
All right. Go ahead and make another athletics check for me.
A happy puppy looking for things to kill other people with. That is an 11 plus 16 is 27.
27, all right. As you begin to dig deeper and deeper, you eventually realize that you are digging somewhere around where the start of the clavicle would be, like the main area of the chest. And eventually, as you dig through and through and through, you feel a lot of pieces of bone. That's why you know where you are digging. But eventually you feel another surface. A pointed surface, if you will. And as you grasp it with both hands, you realize that it's stuck to the piece of bone, and you rip it loose as it cracks. And as all of you watch, Grakol emerges out of the water within his hand, as large as, like, encompassing his entire fist almost, a very large, jagged piece of beautiful green gemstone, uncut, growing in the belly of this long dead beast, and now being held up by Grakol.
Sorry for wasting time. Did not find weapon.
Toss it here, please. You might not have wasted your time, don't worry. Can I have it?
Grakol, at this moment, you also begin to blink a lot, as your eyes are getting very, very irritated.
Oh, fuck. It's uranium. But...
I was just thinking, like,
yeah.
there's chlorine in the water. You're actually in a swimming pool.
So, yeah, Grakol goes out of the water with Zell. And holding the giant gemstone, he's going to carry Zell on his back. Yeah, he's going to give the gemstone to Zell. And he's going to...
Thank you.
Climb back up as he holds... as he has Zell on his back like a little backpack.
And as you do so, Zell...
Happy little shadow backpack. Sorry.
And as you do, Zell comments, "This is only slightly less more comfortable than when you carried me when my hands are bound. But it is an improvement." As you eventually get topside once again, go ahead and make me a fortitude saving throw. And Zell is going to need to do that as well. Oh, damn.
It's uranium.
No.
It's a 25.
25. Ooh, that's a failure. But Zell has a natural 18 on his die. So let me just get...
25 is a failure. Oh my god, this is a level 10 item or something. This is amazing. I love it. We're going to be so much more powerful now.
It doesn't seem that the gemstone was the problem, but the water itself was very, very irritating. And you do begin to realize that like the damage that's been done, like your eyes are very irritated, your entire scales begin to itch. There is some sort of, not really a disease, but a condition that is going to bite you in the ass for times to come, at least. But you do have in your hands a very large, nice gemstone. If somebody would have like a skill that can be useful to identify this little thingy.
I mean, I can use any skill, even trained applications, with some exceptions. So I could go for Arcana, Occultism, but I think Allison would be the more
Arcana.
So Gurkal comes up to Allison, handing him the thing, and you see Gurkal kind of shift. Urgh.
You okay?
No.
You can see that Gurkal's eyes are again completely bloodshot, as if you've been, well, actually very much as if you've been swimming in chlorine water for a very, very long time.
Okay, I'll have a look at you in a little bit. Can I put that thing away quickly? Don't give it to me. No, put it on the ground.
He throws it on the ground in like a panic as he gets different instructions.
And I will quickly try and inspect Gurkal and see if my medicine can help at all.
Go ahead and make a medicine check.
Um, 28.
28. It seems that whatever Gurkal was now swimming through seems to be some sort of a, well, if we were scientists, it would be clear that this is not acidic, but this is basic. It's a basic bitch water. Like, it seems to be irritating Gurkal's skin and eyes very much, but it had a little bit of a, elongated effect before it became apparent. So Gurkal is just going to be fucked right now, but it is the water. So probably if you can get rid of the water, it might aid him a little bit.
Okay.
Right now it's still...
Okay, Gurkal, I'm gonna try...
I need you to scratch me. There.
No, Hannah. Did
As
Hannah...
you do Gurkal, one of your scales comes off.
Oh my god! Oh!
Hannah,
Gurkal just looks at it. Ah! What?
do you have prestidigitation to clean him up?
Gurkal, stand fast, and Hannah is going to go ahead and cast, hydraulic push. So Hannah is just going to like hose you down with a very good amount of water. You are going to take a couple of points of damage. Let me just take a look.
Worth it if I don't keep. Oh my god, skills! Those don't come off. I think.
Apparently yours do.
It really shouldn't come off.
Hydraulic
Iro is a bit spooked by this, by the fact that the skill comes off.
Let's see. Okay, so you take make a ranged spell attack roll. Okay, you are willing to be hit by this blast of water, I guess. So
Critical hit if it gets this shit off me.
very well. Then you take 66 bludgeoning damage and are pushed back 10 feet back into the... No. You take enough distance from the puddle. So that's going to be 11 plus 6 is 17 points of bludgeoning damage as Hannah conjures the forces of nature and just hoses you off completely.
I currently see a dog biting against water. It's happening right now.
We're going like... She then recharges her blast and also does the same for Zell, who's now realizing that he is also still doused in the slightly base water. So that is going to be a problem at least, but now that you are hosed off, it's going to be easier to see how bad you get it the next day. Because this is like a long-term thing that is going to be a little bit difficult to get rid of.
I use lay on hands either way to recover my energy.
Very well.
Or my HP.
Yep. And with that, your HP is covered, but there's also just a piece of fortitude, if you will, that we need your body to run its course. So we will see how bad you have it the next morning.
Okay. Meanwhile, I will inspect the gem.
Very well. Going at it from a magic point of view, it does really look like just a piece of stone. Not really any magical essence in it whatsoever. So trying to uncover any of its aspects with the use of Arcana is not gonna help, I'm afraid.
Alchemical?
I'll say sure. Go ahead and make me a crafting check.
33.
33. All right. With such a high roll, you do get enough of the aspects of this crystal. As you try to scrape off a little bit for your experiments, then begin to realize that it's not that easy. Then getting one of your magical weapons to scrape a little bit off of it. You run a couple of alchemical experiments with the sample, and then with perhaps a pretty big grin on your face, turn back to the party to realize that this is one big emerald. Probably worth around 400 gold pieces.
This is nice.
Yeah, which is basically in let's see, in Netherlands terms,
40,000.
40,000 euros. Yeah.
Yeah. This is yeah. I hope your skills are all right, but I think it's worth it.
Why? Not
This-
big weapon.
Not big weapon, but you can buy a very big weapon with this. This is worth a lot.
Cash.
Ira, catch. It's an emerald. A big one.
It's a very big one.
Still
we're
needs to
gonna
be
have so
worked
much
because it's
money.
like a emerald as it grew in the belly of the beast, literally. So it needs to be cut, it needs to be processed, but a valuable loot piece that you just uncovered from a ancient dragon's graveyard.
Holy shit, he was
Okay.
struck down by like an emerald meteor.
Who knows?
Damn.
All right, let's continue, shall we? Stay
Let's put it
a little
back
bit
folding.
off the road.
Very well.
Sorry,
Then,
one more time, both of you? Max and Maxime?
I only said let's put this in the back folding.
And I said, let's continue.
yoink! Let's continue.
Out
in
of you.
All right. After a very fortuitous day of travel, uncovering one of the best random encounters that I put on my table, you guys eventually travel further and further into the thicket and find another nice place to set up camp. Convinced that you indeed have cut off another day's travel towards your inevitable meetup with Dimitra. As you guys set up camp, is there anything that you would like to do?
Repeating the same process. I'm gonna inspect myself, see if I can find any other things that are happening.
All right. For the sake of expediency, Grakal, Iro, go ahead and both make perception checks for me real quick.
Alright. Nice. Natural 19 this time, 28.
Oh damn, Charlie is really rolling great. I have a 21.
21. All right. Both of you, during your watches, you do realize that there are some critters in the woods just minding their own business, but keeping your eyes peaked to find if there are any draconic assailants, you find no evidence of the like. It seems that whatever dragons were on your tail are there no longer. All right. Allison, as you once again step out as Grakal tabs you awake for your watch, you find yourself in the evening solitude and continue your alchemical processes to find any means of, well, using or cleansing yourself. Which reminds me, I forgot something very important, and that is that you had a long rest, so I need you for the previous night to go ahead and make me a fortitude saving throw.
Yes. Just one?
Just
Oh wait,
one.
you're talking to me as well, right? Yeah.
Why? Oh, for the body thing.
Oh, right,
For the
yeah,
skill.
sorry. Grakal also needs to make a fortitude saving throw to see if he, now a day later, progresses his stage to a place where it actually becomes apparent.
Yeah, fair enough. I wasn't sure if you were talking to Mux or me because
Well, we need both of you all, so...
yeah. 29.
29, all right. So it seems that right now you are still keeping the disease at bay. It's still there, but the effect of the base water is, at least now it seems that your body is combating it quite well. If this continues, you are in the clear. Nothing bad is going to happen. Allison,
26.
26 for the last time. All right. Then now, as this second evening is upon you, I would like you to go ahead and make another medicine check to see if you can unravel how far along you are.
That's from 19, so that's good. 33.
33. All right. Even though this is a magical disease, this vampiric curse, you, with your skill of alchemical reagents and the like, can still glimpse the different ways that it assails your physiological system. And as such, you begin to realize that the disease is advancing. You begin to realize that now, with this one day, there is already a palpable change in your physique a little bit, your blood being tainted a little bit, if you will. And as such, you begin to realize that, taking a look at how far this infection went to Grakal, it's hard to make a good estimate, but you're quite confident that in the next day you're probably going to be all right. But beyond that, it's fair game for all the odds.
Yeah, fair enough. What I will do, first time that I'll ever do this, there's a very nice thing that I apparently all of a sudden know how to do, and that's to have a dream council with a particular being.
All right. So
I don't know how, but apparently all of a sudden I know how.
So to give a quick recap for this weird thing that's going to happen. Allison has in the past already had different visions from somebody that seems to be entwined with him. And, well, without getting into much detail, in his previous adventures, he has obtained the means of communicating with this person through use of powerful magic. So this time, as Allison gets into a meditative state, he pulls back the veil of the multiverse and reaches out towards this individual. As you do so, Allison, as the sleep comes to you, as Iroh takes over the watch, you once again see open up this ring of blue fire as a hole is burned into your vision, and you realize that you are standing there where she is standing. This person that is connected to you. This female pirate queen, if you will. This time around, again, you gleam outside and you can see that here the sun is already rising. Probably like 4 or 5 hours ahead of where you are. And here you can see that she is walking over wooden planks in the morning sun. On her side, you can see different outstretched docks with ships of all sizes and motifs being docked at the ready. Turning to the right, a visage of different architecture that reminds you of the Caribbean's lackluster wooden places built together on top of each other, all intertwined with the jungle woodlands that then take over for the rest of the shore. As she walks here, you peer through her eyes. You feel the slight buzz that she still has from the alcoholic beverages that run through her veins. You feel the familiar weight of 2 metal scimitars on her side. What do you do?
We need to talk.
As you say this, the almost empty bottle of some alcoholic beverage in her right hand falls to the ground as she is very startled. No, as she pulls her hands to her head. Demons, get out of my head!
I know what you're
I've read you
thinking.
already.
I know what you're thinking. I know that you're scared. But I learned a thing or two about our connection. And I think there are things that you need to know.
I do not wish any knowledge of you, demon. I will not strike any new pacts.
New
I drive
pacts?
you out, she says in sort of ritualistic fashion, trying to break the connection without much.
New pacts? You've made old ones.
Stop with your deceiving words. I have no need for them.
I have no need for anything. I only want to warn you. We're dying. Slowly.
Go ahead and make a diplomacy check.
Natural 1.
Your deceptive words will not find fruitful soil in my head any longer. Go away. If you kill us, we die together. That is your choice, not mine. Go back to the abyss from which you came.
Have you
Still
felt
convinced.
the moments you all of a sudden felt very weak, fell to a knee, almost passing out, all of in a random moment? That was because I was almost dying at that very moment.
I
On
know
death's
what you're
door.
trying to do, demon.
For
I have
fuck's sake,
outlasted you for
stop
this long.
calling me a demon. I'm Alison Artano from the Free Broken Isles, and I'm trying here to help you.
Go ahead and make another diplomacy check. Natural one again.
Hold on, you have a hair point.
Do I?
My man. Yeah.
Well,
Then I'll use that one. 17 is better. That's a 31.
31. Fine. It seems that I'm not going to be able to shut you up like this. So I play your little game. If you are from the Free Broken Isles, demon, then tell me, where are you from?
God.
Notes.
This is what happens when your background is 10 pages long, Max.
Wouter is timing how long you are looking this up.
You probably don't know the town. Because it's quite secretive, and I know that kind of sounds very deceptive in itself. Avasaradan. Look up information on it. It's an ancient elven town. Probably won't find much. Search for it. In a couple of weeks, I'll make contact again.
Wait. Go ahead and make a diplomacy check.
$26.
26. If you really are from this town, then you know why it is secretive.
I do. Do you?
I do.
You're not from around there, are you?
Look,
Why would you know?
your deceptive words mean nothing. If you really are from that place, you can tell me right here and now why it is so secretive.
Because it has a connection to a piece of heaven. You know what I'm talking about. Evermeet.
How would a demon... What are you?
I'm connected to you. Where were you born from? Humans? Elves? Both just the same? Probably. Same for me, but then just elves. I'm also an half-elf. Sounds familiar?
Well, yeah, it does, but that doesn't change the fact that you invading my head is... Ah, fuck. What is going on?
You're maybe not aware, but I don't think this is a one-sided thing. If you'd like to pierce into my eyes, see my history, go ahead. Give it a try.
How? What is... Can I?
Try.
Alright, so, for our raiders, just tuning into all of this creative madness, let's just give a short recap. You already saw the summary in chat. Next to that, we are now witnessing the mental connection between one of our characters, Allison, and some person that he is connected to on the other side of the continent, who just until now thought that Allison was a demon invading her mind, but now is in a normal conversation with him, realizing that Allison is probably not a demon and just a random dude. So yeah, personal character arc, connected with somebody on the other side of the plane, trying to figure out what the frick is going on. Sorry for the madness. So, she's going to go ahead and try if this demon in her head is a normal person, and see if she can gaze through your eyes. With a natural 3 on the die, that is probably not going to succeed. No, I don't even have to look at her stats for that. Look, I'm drunk right now.
Kinda makes sense why I'm feeling your emotions like this.
Shut up. Okay, so if I can look through your eyes, do you plan this? Do you plan when you jump into my head?
Didn't start off that way, but I've done some research. And now, yes. So if you'd like to have another conversation at some other point in time, then let's set a date for this. Because I don't think we have long, and I'm trying to prevent it at all my power right now, and that might have repercussions for yours.
Okay, sure, but just to make one thing clear, I would rather have a fucking death experience than go on a date with you. This is a simple business transaction, nothing more. How many times can you do this?
To my awareness, whenever I want, when I sleep.
Wait, it's morning here. When do you sleep?
I'm at a very different location than you are.
Same time tomorrow.
Same time tomorrow.
If you're a demon,
I'm a bloody good one.
Shit up. Like, I don't care. I will go to the abyss and I will skullfuck you. Like,
If you had that kind of power, you might be of any other help from me than you might already.
fuck. Just leave my head for now. The hangover is already kicking in without your invasion. As she picks up the bottle, realizing that there's still a couple of drops of alcohol in it left that aren't spilled onto the wooden floorboards at her location. She begins to take another large sip, and then ragingly throws the empty bottle into the ocean waters before you pull back your visage of this very vulgar woman. Oh dear.
Kinda, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, with that beautiful experience out of the way, eventually, the new morning comes to you all. There we go. Let's put this one up. As the vision pulls back into Allison's eyeballs and he goes to sleep, the pack finishes its long rest and comes to another day in this overgrown area as they travel back to their base camp. Picking up the campsite once again, another days of travel is ahead of you. So, with that, are we going to use the same tactics for travel as before?
Yeah.
Sure.
Very well.
Yeah,
All right,
I
so
think so.
if that is the case, Iroh, as you lead the pack, I would like you to go ahead and make a survival check. Grekal, as you keep watch and keep a lookout for any and all dangers, I would like you to make a perception check. Allison, you will be undergoing a little bit of research as you scour the lands in search of magical herbs. And I will roll for our absent Hannah as she tries to cover your tracks and make sure that you are not followed by any enemies. Damn, another natural 18 on the die. Twice in a row now for Hannah. So she's
Nice.
doing very well. All right.
12 for 21. High streak
21
stuff.
perception. All right.
I
Hello?
have to say that I used my halfling lock, and I now got a 22.
22. All right. All right. And Allison?
27.
27. Still just looking for random stuffs?
Yeah.
All right. Then, first off, as you guys continue your travels through these overgrown hills and mountains, Allison, you jump through the forested areas, and eventually, let me just get my right thing out again. Come on. Why is my computer so slow? There we go. There it is. All right. As you dartle through the lands as a merry-go-lad, you eventually find a bush of herbs that are very, very familiar to you. As you find a nice bush of herb true loves, small four-leaved clovers with red or purple flowers on top that can be used to create nice little antidotes through your alchemical research.
Okay. I'll harvest them.
I believe that you were unable to fail this check as of now. So
Think
let's see how this goes. Let's go ahead and make a crafting
Not
check.
a natural one, so I think I'm good.
Then you're probably fine. So with that, you can strike down that you have 4 doses of Herb True Love at your disposal. A fairly, well, low-level item, but still useful to create some nice basic potions.
Yeah, it's always good. Any dose, right? Or elixir
Yes,
of life?
sorry, for antidotes. For antidotes. Yeah, so for all different ways to halt the spreads of poison through your and your friends' veins. All right. Grukal, as you are traveling through these lands, you are keeping a lookout. Iroh, you are making sure that your party is traveling quite well, and I am going to go ahead and roll another d20 to see, in chat, to see, 3 this time, on my random encounter tabelle. All right. So, as your travels these days continue, Grukal, even with your relatively low perception, it's still pretty clear to you, although this time it might be a little later than you wanted it to be, to hear the actual wings of a dragon. As you hear overhead. As you realize that this cry is not from the serpentine shadow dragons that you have fought before, but of another type of drake. And as you gaze up, you can see through the foliage the familiar visage of a large green drake. A drake that looks very familiar to the green drake Kima that you have fought before in a very honorable duel with the hobgoblins that also inhabit these lands.
Yeah.
He flies over his vast domain, not really realizing that you are there, probably just going to some place that he wants to visit. But right now he is just getting closer to you, so if you would like to hail him in some way or form, then this would be the time.
Is that our rider?
As Grukal points this out, Allison also joins back with the party, and Zell, the Darkling captive that you are dragging along with all of you, is a little bit skittish and makes sure that he is out of reach of this drake, as he looks at all of you with like a gaze of wonderment, like, dude, why aren't you hiding against a fucking dragon?
His name was Kima, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Grukal just screams in Draconic, Kima!
Go ahead and make a... I don't know. I guess go ahead and make a straight up strength check. We'll just see how hard you can.
Hooligan check.
Indeed. Go ahead and make a hooligan check. Just straight up strength, and the DC will be adjusted accordingly without proficiency.
Okay, so I have 14 plus 5 for strength.
You're fine. You're fine. With a large dragonborn roar, the very trees around you vibrate with the undertone of your gigantic yell, as you can see a couple of birds from nearby trees flutter up in utter dismay, as you can also see that the large serpentine head on top of this elongated drake neck is perched up as it looks down and then begins to circle downward as eventually this huge drake, this long serpentine body, very slender with elongated wings and two legs on top of it, just crashes through one of the trees with draconic might and
It's good to see you again, friend, Krikal says in Draconic. Well, former enemy.
Likewise, adversary Grokal. What
This
brings
is
you to these lands this time? As the large wings flap into themselves into these small, thin legs up top. And you can now see that as like a dragon normally is like a very forced body, but this green drake is just a serpent with wings and legs on top of it.
Not much different from the previous time, friend. I still carry your old master's blade, putting it to what seems not a very different cause, to attack creatures of shadow.
Then who is this new companion with which you travel? Gazing at the Darkling that now has the enchanted cloak, which makes him a little bit less obvious. So, natural one. So Kima just looks at this person and can't really, make out heads or tails of what this person is. To this Drake, it is just a person.
He is both our prisoner and our companion on our journey, on our quest. It is his kind that seeks to invade what... And Grikal kind of ironically looks around and holds up his hands. What must be your territory now?
With a large puff, the nostrils of this large green drake pop open. Invader, you say?
Yes, at least. I think it would be your territory that they had invaded. The shadow monsters.
The long serpentine neck at those words turn around you a little bit, and as a snake ready to strike, the head perches up a little predatory against your companion, quote unquote.
I stand in front of him.
Steal your acid, friend. He will be dealt with if he is as evil as I do not hope he is.
I'll go ahead and make a diplomacy check.
Okay.
Don't think he really cares about formality, yeah.
High roll, 28.
Fine. I do not wish to test my merit against all of you this day.
Well, yes, let us keep it that way. I would appreciate it.
Grikal, I'm not sure what you guys are talking about, but maybe ask him about the dragons that were here earlier in the sky.
Oh, yes. Is good idea. He goes back to Draconic. Your skies. They must have been invaded as well. We have killed 2 dragons of shadow on our journey through here.
Good. Indeed. The skies turn dark with more than just clouds these days. Just as Tazric rode me, these dragons also carry riders. But their scales are black as night. I can take but one on my own.
Are they your enemy, too?
They invade my skies, All that invade my skies are my enemy.
May I ask a question of you? Favor, perhaps, or might I request, perhaps, an alliance between us? An alliance of convenience, but also respect for each other's formidable prowess in combat. We wish to rid these skies of the black dragons. More permanently, not a temporary thing, but instead of killing them one by one, which I would prefer, we have instead chosen a way that will rid these skies of them for good. They will bother you no longer. But perhaps you could help me in arranging this.
You still ally yourselves with the humans, do you not?
Not really. Our alliance is our own. We are currently... It is difficult to explain, but we are currently with the Fae, I think. But our bond is tricky, for which, actually, I request your help. You are a grand beast, a grand dragon, capable of instilling fear into anyone's heart. Were you to simply show yourself at our back as we speak with the Fae, we might arrange for them and their dark counterparts to take this fight elsewhere. Not the Cragged Hills, but elsewhere.
I do not have the means to parley with you here. Since my partner's death by your hand, I have yet to choose a suitable successor. But still, I am with the little ones. Together, they feed me and my fleet of drakes below me. If you wish to come to an arrangement, seek us out. The little ones still roam these lands. They can lead you to our new home. There, you can parley.
You are free from the... Well, you have ended your partnership with the goblins, then?
No. Those are the little ones of which I speak.
Ah. Right.
A
Then...
new one has taken the role of leader. His name is Andresic. I have yet to make up my mind about him. But he is keeping the tribe of these little ones alive, I guess. If you wish to parley, seek us out. Seek him out. And I will be sure to be there at the negotiations.
Very well. You are a noble-hearted and strong dragon.
I wish we one day will have the chance to test our fangs against each other again. But for now, my force must be administered elsewhere. As the long serpentine head, now no longer perched low as a predator, now raises up high, almost regally.
Regally.
Regally, that's the word that I was looking for.
Alright, so Gricol switches back to his broken common. Good talk. Had good talk. Almost killed you, as he points towards Cell. But made sure he did not.
I am very glad that you gave me this cloak then.
Oh, yes. Cloak. Yes, cloak helps, probably.
May I ask? I was under the understanding that you guys were in allegiance with the hobgoblins.
Excuse me?
Are you already... Oh, sorry.
No, the Drake is still porched up here. Allison is now turning towards your captive, Zell. Zell
Yeah.
speaks up. Excuse me? Well, to be honest, I have no idea about all of the dealings of our kin. Information is kept quite spread as to not have, well, people that fall into the wrong enemy's hands, hello, that would be me, to be able to speak of things that they do not need to know against the enemy. I do know that a lot of our agents are spread all across these lands in different operations.
Very well.
Is he leaving now?
Yes. I say, Draconic, I thank you, and I shall speak to my friends. Perhaps we will meet. Perhaps it shall be another day when we test our mettle against one another.
The place where I lay down my head to rest is at the heart of the tribe, at Andrezic's side, although I do not see him as my partner. If you find him, I will be there.
It shall be a good day then.
Good hunt. And with that, he unravels his both drake-like wings once again, and
he really know like shadow monsters.
Yes,
Like Recall.
which is kind of interesting. And I take out the notebook from, I think, Count Fairwind himself that we had at the where the portal was previously. And I give it to our Darkling friend. Have a read at this.
as Zell begins to turn the pages, read through everything, you can see his lips move a little bit as he is reading through all of it. He closes the book. Well then, it seems that you know a little bit more than I do.
Very well.
What book say?
We found a book when we dealt with Count Fairwind the first time in the fortress.
Uh-huh.
And it was basically stating that they had the goblinoids under control and that we were perusing in their, well, interfering in their actions with them. But
Perhaps secret.
apparently,
Drake did not know about it. Drake knows much. I think maybe when someone lies, yes, maybe a lie.
It says here that the one in charge of the operation is Zilius. I know him. He is a powerful gloomweaver of the Darklings. If you wish to converse with the Court of Shadows, I am quite, well, sure of the fact that he has a direct line to the court.
fair enough. Well, we will do so on our own pace. Arrow?
I have one more thing. I spoke to Drake. If we have to fight, whoever we must fight, they maybe help. We can talk with goblins. This time, not eat them. And then maybe they help us fight. They don't like the black dragons, the shadow dragons.
They don't like
But
anything
now-
that's in their territory, I figure.
Yes. So, if we make promise to... And Gurkal kind of looks away. Make empty skies of enemies. Then they help, maybe.
Well, we will figure out what's the right course of action in a little bit. We have a meeting up.
Yes.
Before we go on, you do realize that this information that is now in my mind is another line underneath my death sentence. If they wish to interrogate me, and I tell them this, then Zilius is also not safe. The Hobgoblin tribe themselves, I'm not sure how...
The Fae.
Look,
I'm
if-
gonna. Alright.
we can make sure that no matter what happens, you won't get a death sentence.
You keep saying this.
But if that's not the case, then we'll take you back and we'll set you free somewhere else, like a spider inside your house. But we will not give you to the Fae if we are not sure that they are not going to kill you.
Let's just put it this way. They need us right now. I don't think they're gonna make an enemy of us real quickly.
I hope you are right. I hope you do not overestimate your own worth in their eyes.
Also, no worries. And Gurkal kind of slaps him on the back. Not too hard, but hard enough. And he kind of walks off. Gurkal said he would defend you. Would never let you torture. Would kill you before torture. Better, yes? And he walks off further into the direction we were heading off in.
I prefer the words less worse. And Zell follows suit, still giving like a little bit of a begging glance at Allison as he walks past him, but continues on the travels. All right. As the rest of this day goes on fairly well, and this second day of travel also comes to a close, the pack eventually once again puts up camp, make sure that everybody is well fed,
Yeah.
going to bed for a rest.
We have an important work meeting tomorrow. We got to get to bed in time.
Indeed. So, as you guys are preparing for this work meeting, is there anything else that you would like to do?
Well, I have a conversation planned
All right. With Zell or with
No.
one of your party?
with a particular woman.
Yeah, of course.
A pre-work meeting. Damn.
I think it's called a date.
No,
It was
it's not.
clearly stated it was not.
Oh, my bad. I misunderstood consent. Go ahead.
Shit. Dude, not okay.
Ooh.
No, but either way, Gurkal's just he's gonna do whatever.
Very well.
He's
Same
just
for
gonna
Iron.
cook. Yeah.
Okay. As the night falls for all y'all, eventually Allison, as his watch is upon him, he begins to conduct another piece of research on himself. Go ahead and make another medicine check for me, please.
Natural 18 for a 32.
32. Once again, looking at yourself, it seems that your condition is not changed since the last day that you were traveling. So for now, it seems to be that you at least have another day.
Fair enough.
Better hope they got someone with remove curse with them.
All right. As this sigh gives you a little bit of emotional elevation, you eventually tap Iroh on the shoulder to make sure that he takes the next watch as you go to bed, but not just to bed. You go to bed to converse with your other half. On the other side of the continent, it seems that you are connected with another half-elf. And as you reach out with your powerful magic to converse with her, you this time find her at a different spot. This time, one of the wooden buildings that you saw the night before on this almost Caribbean coast is now, well, filled with different types of furniture, but also her, as she is just sitting on top of the bed, expectantly almost for your connection. You can see that small different windows are at different places in this building, but they are completely filthy as to only let through a little bit of sunlight from the outside. The table itself is filled with a couple of different bottles and a plate with some remnants of a meal that has been eaten here. You can already, as you enter her mind, smell the little bit of musk in this room, as there seems to be something rotting in here. And with that, you enter the mind of your second half.
Well, you're definitely in a better environment this time around, and not as drunk.
So, what happens? What do we do?
It appears that in some way our souls are connected and they tear each other apart. I'm not sure how, but this is the case. And this is something that is killing the both of us. Last time I was near death's door, you fainted. I saw you faint. I had a vision of it. Luckily, you're not bleeding on the ground as much, so I did not have to experience this yet.
No, because I know how to freaking run a good combat. This body is a temple, okay? And nothing enters this body without my permission. Certainly not pointy steel bits.
That's very fair.
I got people for that.
That's very fair. So, I don't have a lot of information on this. I've only figured this out recently. Done some, math in my head. So what do we want to do about this?
Hey, you're the one popping into my mind. I thought you had... You don't know what's going on either, do you?
Not completely. I know that we're connected. I'm not sure how. Probably some fuck up by the gods or something. But
Okay, so let's wait. Let's take a step back. Okay, so let's check some things. Are you on Novocres?
I am.
Cool. Is the year 300 and 2020 of the empirical age? It is.
Let me think. Yes.
All right. So, no time shenanigans.
Nope.
Where are you right now?
I am in the Cragged Hills, in the region of... Where?
The province, you mean?
Yeah, the province.
Plus.
Province of Artelos.
All right. I myself am sitting quite nicely, I might add, on the shores of Myrmidon, all the way to the south. Far, far away from both of our home, it seems.
Recently, quite a while ago, I recognized the shores of the Three Broken Isles.
Well, I try to keep about. I sail a lot.
Pirate?
Pirate Queen, thank you. Look, I have a... You can't judge me. I have a freaking fleet underneath me, okay?
I'm not judging. You're doing quite well, I imagine.
You do realize that I can also peer a little bit in your mind, right? I know when you're laughing at me.
Oh, so you did learn a thing or two.
Well, look, if we're going to deal with this, then we both need to deal with this. Now, the Cragged Hills. Where is that in Artelos? Is it close to the shore?
No, right? Is it?
No, it's about like
Center of the continent, pretty much.
Center left. So it would be like 500 miles from the western shore?
Shamefully, no. About 500 miles.
Great. Look, you can get in my mind. Can't you just, like, teleport over here or something? I know magic can do that shit.
It can. I'm not a strong sorcerer or anything like that yet, I suppose. But maybe my friends will be in a little bit.
Well, how do you get in my mind then? What is this? Is this easy?
I have been looking at what this connection means for quite a while now. And it seems that in my recent travels, I figured out a way to be able to connect with you easily. Did you struggle sleeping from time to time?
I always struggle sleeping.
Well, at some point, I didn't. Since then, it's come a lot easier for me.
Alright, so let's just start off with getting some info, I guess. Recall has turned into a catfolk person, a tabaxi, if you will. Who did you say that you were again?
My name is Alison Artano. With whom do I have the pleasure?
The name that I carry now is Valera.
Nice to meet you, Valera.
Nice to meet you too. But if you wish to know how to find me, the shores know me as the Red Queen.
Interesting.
Look, I don't have the luxury to just go away somewhere, but you seem like a mobile fella.
Currently struggling with a fight between the Feywild and the Shadowfell, but
Okay, you know what? I don't have to know what kind of business you got yourself into, but if we need to figure this out, you better get your ass ashore.
some point I can. Up till then, this is our only method of, communication.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, for now this'll have to do then.
The thing that we need to find out is what this actually means and how we can prepare our souls. I believe there are ways.
Our souls? Well, fuck.
Yeah, this goes further than a curse.
No, you don't understand. Like, my soul is loaded with sin. Like, I'm not sure if it can be fixed. I'm putting all my money on this life, thank you.
Very well. You talked to some witch lately to ban me out of your head? Might she have any ideas?
Fuck, fine, I'll talk to her. See if she can make heads or tails of this thing. For now, at least. I think I'm gonna have my day now, if that's okay.
That's fine, but don't take this off easily. And I
No!
do have to warn you to slow the coming death. I've taken some precautions, and I'm not sure if they will have any effect on your state.
I think I can feel your stress right now. What the fuck did you do?
Preventing death by vampirism.
Yeah, I'm going now. And she steps up from her table and walks out of the door.
You know I'm still
You can
here,
leave my
right?
hat
Do some research.
now. Look, I'll talk to her, okay? I'll talk to the shaman. Just do the magic thing again in a couple of days, and I'll see what we can do about this and vampirism. I guess.
Well, for now, it's a means to stay alive. I have this feeling that our souls might be breaking very soon. Have you... Just a question. Do you have fills in your eyes as well?
What?
Moon crescents?
They're quite pretty, actually.
Well, in my religion, this means that Sahina Moonbow is very soon gonna take our lives.
I don't subscribe to your religion. Please keep me out of it. I would appreciate that.
Well, apparently you don't really have a say in this, as you're part half. And I suppose the elven deities still have some...
Fine. I'm gonna talk to her, okay? I'm gonna talk to the shaman.
Good.
Just give me, as she begins to look around, give me a couple of days to find a bitch. And she walks off.
I'll talk to you later.
I thought it was funny that you said, do some research. I was like, read a book!
So, as Allison breaks the connection and continues in his deep slumber, eventually dawn finds the pack once again here in the Cragged Hills. As your last day of the journey back towards your meeting place with Dimitra is about to begin. At which moment, I am very curious on what the fuck is gonna happen when you get there.
Aw, damn, I was hoping we could get through the meeting with Dimitra
Yeah.
without Crystal being here. Because because like her allegiance is very black and white. And
Crystal not being here, like the druid, the one. Okay, so the druid who knows that one of her parents is in the Feywild, the place where all the fake creatures is coming from, like. I'm pretty sure that all these conversations with Zell would have gone a very, very different way if she was here. But
I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like in and out of character, we should just keep this from her.
She will probably rewatch the stream.
that's
Don't
not how it works,
upload. Don't upload this video until after like next session, so that we can just go.
That's not how it
No,
works.
this is
not how it works.
fair enough.
Not how it works. You can
Yeah.
rewatch on Twitch anytime.
For now, at least, my job is done. Discourse and moral ambiguity is been accepted within the party.
Discord.
You thought Discord? No, is it Discord?
No.
Discourse is discussing things.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Discord has been seated in the party. Yeah, you thought you were just gonna have like a nice little good versus evil campaign? Fuck no, that's way too easy for me. I'm gonna make it a little bit more ambiguous. Excuse me. So with that, we now have a nice little social encounter lined up for next week, and you also have a very hefty amount of choices to make on what the party will do next. Like,
Yeah.
are you going to try and talk to the hobgoblins that you now have a line out? Zell has many different ways and many different prospects of like bringing you towards the Court of Shadows and just have a nice little talk with those people. Do you just want to like fuck everything and go take a look at what this person connected to Allison has to say?
Probably that will stay in for the future for now, but
No.
We'll work it out.
Choices.
Allison's gonna be a vampire, apparently.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
Allison. I do believe that I
Wanna
still
roll?
have an anti-luck left.
Yeah.
I would
You
like
have
to-
2 anti-lux left,
Oh,
my
two
friend.
still nice. Oh,
How
okay.
though? He used 2 last session.
No, I used one last session.
No, 2.
I had I had 2 last session. I used one.
No,
Yeah,
you,
seriously.
at the end of the session, I rewatched it. You used 2.
Okay. Oh, if that is the case, then well, that it's nice that I still
Have a.
I don't know. Just go ahead and roll me a fortitude save with disadvantage. So roll twice, take the lower.
Yes. But I don't mind you having an extra one. It's fun. 11 and a 10. So that's a... What was kind of save was it?
Fortitude.
That's a... Don't have a bonus anymore, right? No. So that's a 19.
19. All right. That's very good to know. As this next morning that you wake up, the sunshine is... Oof. It's
Oh, no.
very, very bright.
Oh, it's very difficult for me to pass this fortitude.
Yeah.
As long as will saves will go further on, then I'm fine.
You gotta have a weakness. You gotta have a weakness.
Yeah.
For now, at least, we have to say adieu, as the next week is, slamming at our doors with a snowstorm. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, we have social media where we share all kinds of different information about the stream, as well as different stat blocks that I create, because the game is not full with all the different kind of mechanics. So I myself create different adversaries, stat blocks, items, whatnot that I share with everybody on there. We also will be back here on Friday when we continue streaming some nice game nonsense, where I will continue my Hollow Knight playthrough, and of course every Sunday we will continue the main freaking course, this beautiful Pathfinder 2nd edition campaign. So we love you, we hope to see you then. Enjoy the last hour of your weekend, and bye bye.
Bye-bye.